Cohn. I've been making YouTube videos for the past 6 months, and it's been definitely had its ups and downs, but been able to grow the channel to about 1,000 subscribers and learned a lot along the way. Happy to share any knowledge I've learned.
Great. Tell us a little bit about why did you start the channel?
Sure. So I started the channel. I've always had an interest in making YouTube videos and being a creator. And it goes back to, probably 15 years ago. I started making YouTube videos when I was a kid, like little skits with my friends. And then that kind of morphed into eventually making Minecraft tutorials. And I just have always had this kind of obsession with making content. And I think it actually stems from my dad. He owned a film company back in the 80s. So it was called Reel to Reel. And he made documentaries for San Francisco and Ireland. And he's always been a person that just films everything, no matter what we were doing. So I think that it probably stemmed from that a little bit. So I started my YouTube channel when I had left one of my previous jobs. I had this downtime and I was like, I really just don't want to work for another company at this point. You put your heart and soul into it, and it feels like sometimes it doesn't work out or the company goes under, which is basically what had happened. And so I wanted to just take some time and do something that I've always wanted to do, which is make YouTube videos. So started putting a lot of time and energy into scripting videos, just learning the whole process of how to make a decent video, the angles, finding the right content and topics to make the videos about. At first, I was outsourcing my video editing and recently brought it in-house to try and make the content exactly how I want it to. A few things I learned. I purchased a few pieces of equipment, which made just recording easier. I've just been using my phone for the past 6 months, which actually the content turns out pretty dang nice. But I purchased like a clip-on microphone, purchased better lighting, and the angles that I was recording at were terrible at first. I had like my door in the background and desk, and it just looked awful. So I just played around with different angles and figured out how to make it look pretty nice. When I first started making videos, kind of launched this initiative to go from unemployed to financially free in a matter of about 3 or 4 months. And it was it was a lofty goal for sure. So I launched this initiative to basically build out a few different passive income streams. So I was working on another business model called YouTube automation, was selling things on Amazon and a few other things. But I basically was creating content around those items. And that's what I first started creating content on. Realized that there was a few things that were getting better views. One being YouTube automation. It seemed like that was getting some pretty natural viewership and attention. So I've continued to make content around YouTube automation since that goal expired. I use a few tools to research online, Google Analytics or Google Trends, and look on YouTube just to see what content is coming out recently by other creators and use that to model what I'll be making next. It's an interesting business model, and there's a lot of channels that are doing it that you've probably watched tens or hundreds of hours of content from these channels, and they're just outsourcing everything. It is something I'm still working on. It doesn't have my full attention at the moment. It does take a decent amount of capital, especially if you're outsourcing every piece of it. I've probably spent $5 or $6 grand in total and have not made the returns, really any returns yet. I've brought on a partner. We're going to be experimenting, utilizing more AI tools moving forward. So it brings the cost down and we could pump out more content. It just hasn't started yet. The main thing was just to try to get subscribers and get views first, and I'll build out the affiliates. My view was get the people viewing your content and then figure out how to monetize it after. It's like how a lot of startups work. A lot of investors will tell you, get the viewers, get the users, and then you can monetize it later. And that's how I was looking at it with YouTube. I was struggling getting the view count up when it came to outsourcing. It's harder to retain viewers when you don't have someone in front of the camera. I was doing kind of celebrity come up stories, and I did a video about Gary Vee and how he made his money, and that one had a decent amount of views. And I started leaning more and more into that niche. So the first few months were really me taking this shotgun approach. I had these ideas of what would work, and I wanted it to be about financial literacy and kind of everything that entailed. So I was doing videos about celebrities, how they make their money, what they spend their money on, their lifestyles, different ways to make money online. And I started leaning more and more towards the celebrity come up story niche. And once I start making videos for it again, that's what I'll continue making videos about and finding an affiliate product that works well for that. That's also a challenge though. I've tried using AI in my scripting before. Actually, in my last video, I used AI to write part of that script and found exactly what you were talking about, which was just reading it over, edit it a lot, and then it still doesn't turn out the way you want it to. Might as well just had started with my own ideas and own take on it. It probably would have come out more unique and probably done better on YouTube. But I like what you're saying about kind of outsourcing it in other ways and getting other people to do the work with you instead of relying on an AI, which gives a lot of the same ideas. People, for me, I'm big on LinkedIn, but for other purposes. And I come from a sales background, and I've used LinkedIn for many years to generate leads and appointments and create sales, or even just get interviews for companies. So LinkedIn's been a really big one for me. I don't really push my content to LinkedIn, which maybe I should. I saw that you were posting about your podcast on there and made it click in my brain today. Like, why am I not utilizing this for YouTube? But I'm really just trying to focus on YouTube at the moment. I think there's a lot of pressure from society to do all of the different social media platforms all at once. And I really just want to make great content on YouTube at the moment and just make it as good as possible. And then once I continue building my following and get it to a point where I'm happy with it, then I can start creating more content, focusing more time and energy on becoming a full-time creator and reposting it to other platforms. I've explored creating TikToks as well and Reels. I was basically just reposting my shorts in Reels, but didn't have a ton of success with it. I maybe got a couple hundred views. It seems like the shorts algorithm is tricky, and I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So would be curious to hear your take on it.
I've posted a lot of shorts, and I post a couple every single day. And it's very similar to TikTok, except it has a hard ceiling on a lot of the views. The most I've ever gotten is a little over 5,000 views on a video. But I noticed for almost all YouTube shorts is they'll go up to 200, 300, 500, 1,000, and then it'll max out. 1,000 is like a good video. 5,000 for me is like pretty exceptional. Anything over that, I haven't figured out how to go very viral. And on TikTok, I have 3 videos over 1 million views. I have tons and tons of views on TikTok. Haven't figured it out for YouTube Shorts, but it is very good at gaining subscribers, especially with this podcasting model, because now they've added the feature where you click on the short and it will take you directly to the long form video. And so when I upload this podcast clip, it's going to have it right below where people can click on it and go see the full podcast and see our full discussion on it.
Interesting.
And I upload all of my long form videos vertically, because then when I use the remix feature on YouTube, it formats it correctly and it's perfect for a YouTube short. So if you see even this podcast that I have here, I'm going to upload it vertically and I'm going to put the captions in the middle. So when I click the remix feature, it's going to upload that YouTube short perfectly with the right captions and everything. And this is how I take a podcast that's maybe going to get 100 views and I get 5,000, 6,000 views out of it by utilizing the shorts.
Oh, interesting.
And then I think too that most people are watching even this YouTube video on their phone. Why not upload the video vertically? And vertically, it takes up more real estate on the screen when you're scrolling and you're looking at titles. So a lot of reasons that I think uploading vertically is a good idea. Even for some long form content, I think it depends. But for a podcast, I'm like, hey, upload it vertically, because then you don't have to go through another process of editing the video.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because that's what I was doing when I uploaded shorts. I would cut up my video, my long form content, and make it into a short. But it definitely takes some time to put in the extra effort and cut it up that way. And you're basically editing a whole new video.
Exactly. With the remix feature, man, it's so easy. I don't know if you've used it before, but you click it, it takes out a 15-second clip and you just push 2 more buttons and it's posted. It's the fastest way to post content on social media that can get a good amount of views. So watch this back and see what I do with your video on a YouTube channel. Tell us, how can people support you and how can people reach out to you?
At this point, I'm just looking to grow my YouTube channel, and I find that I like to talk about different business ventures I'm dipping my toes into and ways to create money online. And I'm on this journey just like you are, Alex, and like many people who are looking to break away from the 9-to-5 and just documenting that journey. So if that's something people are interested in, they can go to my YouTube channel at Ryan Cohn, and you can even book a call with me. I have a link in there to book a call and get to know one another. Happy to help people however I can.